pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. The following matters will come before the License Commission today. This is our regularly scheduled meeting. The meeting previously filed with the city clerk. The first order of business will be applications submitted for consideration. Item number 1, Revere Lodge 1171 of the BPOE of USA, Inc., 198 Shirley Avenue, James Hannon, manager. This is an application for a change of officers, directors. The application of Revere Lodge 1171 of the BPOE of USA, Inc. for a change of officers and directors to reflect the latest election of club officers. Is there a representative from the Elks Club here today? We will table this until
Mr. Chairman, if I
later.
may.
Yes.
If I may. I am a member of the Elks. I don't know why they're not there, but it's just that they elected new officers and, everything's been good down there. So I don't know what more you would really need, so.
We'll put them at the end of the agenda. We'll try it again, see if they show up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item number 2, House Bear Brewing LLC, 3 Graff Road, number 15, Newburyport, Mass. Carl Hirschfeld is the manager. This is an application for a farmer's market license. The application of House Bear Brewing LLC for a farmer's market license to enable them to sell mead at the Revere Farmers Market on the American Legion lawn at 249 Broadway during the hours of operation 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Fridays from July 2nd through October 29th, which correspond to the farmers market dates. Your name and address for the record, please, ma'am.
My name is Elizabeth Borges. I'm with House Bear Brewing, and the address is 3 Graff Road, Newburyport, Mass.
Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about what your plans are for this?
Sure. We have a tent at farmers markets with a table, and we sell mead and cider, 12% uncarbonated, 6% carbonated. That's it. We've been making mead since 2013 as a business, and we mostly make dry meads, but we've now introduced a sweet mead today, our root beer mead.
Now, is that
Oh, I'm sorry.
What is that?
Mead is an alcoholic beverage made from fermenting the sugars in honey. So with beer, you ferment the sugars from grains, wine from grapes. We ferment the sugars from honey. It's gluten-free.
Will you be serving it for consumption on the premises, or is this stuff to go?
Mostly it's to go. I believe now we're allowed to pour samples again, now that the restrictions have been lifted. So as long as the city of Revere doesn't have a problem with it, we'll probably be pouring little itty-bitty tiny samples. But unlike the past, where we do samples of everything, we'll probably do a featured flavor of the day. We're going to be this summer at 11 markets. Wayland, Medford, I don't know why I'm blanking on all the other places, but we're at 11 markets this summer.
So there is a clientele for this?
Yes,
service.
yes.
There is.
Yeah, in fact, we're the most medal beater in Massachusetts. We've got 3 gold medals, a silver medal, and bronze medal.
Wonderful.
So hopefully you guys will come and try them.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you. That was my only question.
Commissioner, you have any questions?
No, I have no questions, and I'm looking forward to trying some mead. I had it before in Maine somewhere at a brewery, and it's really good, so I'm looking forward to trying yours. So I have no objection, no questions.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I'll close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of the House Beer Brewing LLC? I don't see or hear any. We'll close that section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to this? I don't see or hear anyone. I will close that section, and I will open it up to debate. Is there a motion to work on?
I would make a motion to approve on the dates listed, I believe till September. Is that our
October.
date?
October.
October, I'm sorry.
Wait, before you guys vote, I have a question. I just thought of this. I heard you say that we do mead, and we do mead, but we also do cider, and I want to make sure that the license, I think I put mead and cider in our application. Okay, I want to make sure it wasn't limited to, or if it was, I should know in advance.
No, you're not limited, and I see meat and cider here.
Oh, okay. Phew.
So I would second that motion.
Would you have a problem with mead and cider?
No.
Mead and cider? Commissioner, did you second?
I second the motion.
Very good. Your motion is approved. The application for a farmer's market license of House Beer LLC, House Bear Brewing LLC for a farmer's market license to enable them to sell mead and cider at the Revere Farmers Market on the American Legion lawn at 249 Broadway during the operating hours of 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Fridays from July 2nd through October 29th, 2021.
Thank you.
That license is
Chairman.
approved. Good luck.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I just had one more question, I'm sorry. How do you make sure that these people are over 21? Do you have a way of,
Well, we're, everyone who works for us is tip certified, and we do card
You are
people
tip-
that look, 35 and under, so,
so they're tip certified?
yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay? Your license is approved.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Item number 3, City of Revere and the neighborhood developers, Sandler Square. Vanny Hoyt is the event manager. This is an application for 2 one-day common victular and entertainment licenses. The application of the City of Revere and the neighborhood developers for 2 one-day licenses for common victular and entertainment. Said licenses to be exercised at Sandler Square, which is the intersection of Dehon Street, Centennial Avenue, and North Shore Road, for 2 night market events. The events will include food trucks, entertainment, local non-culinary vendors. The 2 nights are July 29th, 2021, with a rain date of August 5th, and the second date is August 12th, 2021, with a rain date of August 19th. The hours will be from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., with 1/2 hour setup and cleanup time before and after the event. The expected attendance is 500 people, spread out over the 3-hour event. Your name and address for the record, please?
Sure, my name is Vanu Hood, and I am at 44 Dehon Street in Revere.
Very good. Can you tell us a little bit about what your plans are here?
Yep, so the summer nights, it's going to be called Summer Nights at Sandler Square. I am a nearby neighbor of the intersection. It's a adaptation of Revere on the Move's Summer Nights from 2019. It's an open-air night market that's going to celebrate Revere stakeholders, including local businesses in the Shirley Ave area, as well as act as a community building opportunity for neighbors to get to know each other. So it's just a summer night, and you get to enjoy food and entertainment and arts.
Very good. Sounds like a great event. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions? Commissioner Canasso?
I'm just not sure, is Sandler Square, that is by Revere Beach Station, is that Sandler Square?
It's not part of Revere Beach. It's a little triangle that intersects Centennial, North Shore Road, and Dehon Street.
Oh, okay, I
Yep.
know exactly where it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's right down the street from the Revere Beach train station, facing Shirley Ave.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, sounds like a great event.
Thank you.
I have no questions.
I have no questions.
Very good. Now, do you plan on serving alcohol at this event?
No.
Very good. I don't have any other questions. I will close this section of the hearing, and I will open it up to any proponents. Is there anybody that'd like to speak on behalf of this? Yes, Counselor.
Yep.
Thank you. Commissioner, member of the commission, Ira Novoselsky, 53 Dehon Street.
Counselor, can you speak into the microphone,
I
please?
sure can. How's
Thank
that?
you.
There you
Much
go.
better, thank you.
I'm Ira Novoselsky, 53 Dehone Street. I live right up the street from the Sandler Square. And I am the Ward 2 counselor. And that square has become very active lately. People want to have events down there, and this is one of many that's going to be down there that you'll be hearing over the next couple of weeks and months. But we just renovated it. We put in new lighting and new electric outlets for people to have events down there, and it's just a good spot to have, and everybody's looking forward to the event, so thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Yes, sir, your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, George Rotondo, 90 Hone Street, and I welcome this. I think this is going to be great for the neighborhood. We have so many different neighbors that this is just going to be so much fun. And I want to thank neighborhood developers for doing this. This is a great project for the community, but more importantly for our neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Are there any other proponents? Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of this? I don't see any or hear any. I will close that section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to this? I don't see or hear anybody. I will close that section of the hearing and open it up for discussion. I just have one question, ma'am. How many food trucks do you anticipate?
Anticipating 3. In the 2019 series, we were only able to accommodate 3.
Very good. And those will be along North Shore Road? Is that what the plan is at this point?
On the map, I have it along North Shore Road, and there are 2 inward parking. I'm sorry, not the right word for it, but I think I submitted on the map. There is one, there's parking that goes into the triangle from Centennial and also Dehon Street side of the triangle where there could be a truck.
Very good. Thank you very much. I don't have any other questions. Is there a motion that we would like to?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
I'd second that motion.
Very good. The motion is approved for the application of a one-day license, common victular and entertainment license, to be exercised at Sandler Square at the intersection of Dehone Street, Centennial Avenue, and North Shore Road. This is for a 2-night market events. The first night would be July 29th, 2021, with the rain date of August 5th, 2021. And the second date will be August 12th, 2021, with the rain date of August 19th, 2021. The hours will be from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. with a half-hour setup and cleanup time before and after the event. Thank you very much. Your license is approved.
Thank you.
We have some late additions to the agenda. Item number 4, Revere Parks and Recreation, 249 Broadway. Charles Jafrida is the event manager. This is an application for a one-day malt, common victular, and entertainment license. The application for Revere Parks and Recreation for this license is to be exercised on the lawn at 249 Broadway, which is the American Legion, on Saturday, June 26th, 2021, from 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. for an event for vaccinated adults. Expected attendance is 200 to 300. Amenities are to be a beer garden, food trucks, music, and games. Your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Yes, sir. Charles Jafrida, on behalf of the Revere Parks and Recreation Department, 150 Beach Street, Revere, Mass.
Thank you very much,
Absolutely.
Charles. Nice to see you.
It's great.
What is
It's great to be
your
in
plans for this license?
So the event on 6/26 is the exact, basically a carbon copy of what happened on 6/3 a few weeks ago, with 2 food trucks in addition. Before we didn't really have enough time to get a food truck, so we did the catering with the grill. This time we had a little more time. And so the 2 food trucks for that night are scheduled to be Kowloon and chicken and rice guys. We finally got them nailed down this morning. It's a very busy time for food trucks right now. Same vendor for alcohol, Andrew Lee, who's sourced through Burke Distributors. Nothing changed from June 3rd. And this will be a night event. 10 p.m. Stop time, and if we have live music, which I don't think we will, but if we do, it'll be exactly what we had last time, an acoustic only, no band. But I don't think that's going to happen. He seems booked, so we're just going to go to DJ and keep it very simple. Other than that, any specific questions? I don't think the event will reach that total of people. That's sort of the max. We were right around the 175 range on June 3rd, give or take. Almost primarily seniors and City Hall after work. So it was a great crowd, no complaints at all. Any specific questions?
Very good. I see this is pretty much the same as what you've done in the past as far as perimeter security and controlling access and egress.
Yes, sir, exactly.
Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I have no questions. I've gone over the application, and as my colleague said, doesn't seem to be any changes from the last successful time we had here. So no, I have no other questions.
Same, I have no questions.
Very good. I will close this section of the hearing. Thank you. And I will ask for any proponents. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of this license? Seeing and hearing none, I will close that section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to this? I don't see or hear anybody. I'll close that section. Is there a motion for us to work on?
I'd move to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Very good. The application for a one-day malt common victular entertainment license for to be exercised at the lawn of 249 Broadway on Saturday, June 26th, from 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. for an event for vaccinated adults is approved. The attendance is expected to be 200 to 300. Thank you very much. Item number 5, Parks and Recreation, Harry Delarusso Stadium, Charles Jafrida, Event Manager. This is an application for a one-day malt common victular and entertainment license to be exercised at Harry Delarusso Stadium on Sunday, June 20th, 2021, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. for a concert for vaccinated adults. Name and address for the record, please.
Charles Jafrida, 150 Beach Street, on behalf of the City of Revere Parks and Recreation Department. So this is going to be, so we have 7 summer concerts planned, 6 at the Legion, which will be the next topic, I believe, for the alcohol licenses for the other 6. And this one ties directly in. This will be at the stadium. We haven't done a concert at the stadium in a while, but there's precedent, there's templates that we're following. The event will be very simple. 2 inflatables towards the field house side for any families and anybody who comes from that demographic with face painting and some lawn games. And then down the other end, closer to the concession stand, will be the stage with the viewing area. The beer garden will be entirely contained to the stadium. We are going to lock the gates. It'll be single entry on the Park Ave side. So we'll have an attendant. So if we have to unlock the gate at all, it'll be there. Our security team is on site, and that'll be their role that evening. In addition to Revere Police, but they'll just be at the beer garden, of course. I mean, for crowd control. But the facility itself will have single point entry on the Park Ave side, so 1 in, 1 out. Everything else, the beer garden will be contained, so there won't be temporary fencing. It'll just be using the existing fences at the stadium. The band has a hard stop of 8 p.m. We should be off the field and lights off by 9:15, and we'll start moving people out right after the music ends.
Thank you.
One more comment on the alcohol. I'm sorry, I just looked at my notes. It's the Boston, so it's sourced through Marignetti's alcohol distributor in Woburn. And it's the Boston Renegades, so their process, they've already been approved for beer and wine at the stadium. Everything they do on game day, from the way that comes in, to the way they distribute it, to, whatever the existing plan is, that is exactly what we're doing. They're gonna handle it for us. The reason why we didn't go with the person on 626 who's doing it anyway is they were booked. And the Renegades, we looked at it as an opportunity for them to use their distributor and use the fact that people are coming to the stadium to raise money for their organization. You know, they're a winning team and they travel all over the country. So that's the partner. But whatever they're doing for the games is exactly what is going to be happening at this event.
Okay, just so I'm clear, the alcohol service is going to be done by the same vendor that's doing the alcohol service for the Renegades on game day. And they're going to use the exact same protocols that they use on game day. Is that?
That is correct, yes, sir.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
No, I guess we've already approved this before, and if it's the same, I have no questions.
Very good. I will close this section. Are there any proponents or anybody that would like to speak on behalf of this? I don't see or hear anyone. I will close that section. Any opponents? Is there anyone opposed to this?
Judge Rotundo, 90 Hone Street. This is, I think, an issue that needs to have reflection. I agree with the idea of having events. However, by doing this, you are exposing people to compromising their HIPAA rights, number one. Number two, we're no longer in a state of emergency, and I wonder what type of legal aspects are involved in precluding people from entering into an event because of a lack of vaccination. I'm vaccinated. I've got no problem exposing that and giving you that as my particular issue. But I think if we do something of this nature without speaking to the city solicitor, considering currently we are no longer in a state of emergency, more importantly, that I can go to Market Basket, I can go to Antonia's, I can go to Valari's without having to show a vaccination card, to allow the state to strong arm people presents a very, very serious constitutional issue. And I would think, having just thought about what took place prior with the event that's going to happen on the American Legion lawn, doing this also presents this very momentous issue that the city could face in the sense of constitutional law. So my suggestion would be, and I applaud the Arrigo administration for doing this event and so forth, the heart is in the right place. I'm just concerned about the legal aspect of it, considering you are violating HIPAA law by mandating people to have a vaccine to attend. Either you follow the law in total or you do not, and that's my issue with this particular event. More importantly, precluding people to come because of their right. If someone decides not to take a vaccine because of a religious right, you've now violated their constitutional rights for not being able to attend a state-funded program. That is against the law. I think Attorney Hilshiana should know this, or I would know this, and I would leave that discussion with him because I'm not an attorney.
You know, I think you raised a great point. I don't mean to interject. And when I initially read the description, that portion of it did stick out, because it seems to me like a certain class of individuals, folks who are choosing not to take the vaccination, is being disenfranchised a bit.
If I was a Jehovah's Witness and I decided not to get blood at a hospital, which I can,
Right.
It's the same issue. It falls along the same guidelines. And if whatever religious belief I have, I decide not to get vaccinated, therefore you are infringing upon my civil rights. More importantly, you're mandating that they have a vaccination card to show up to an event. Think about that. Think about events in history where you had to have a card or wear something to show up. It's a very slippery slope, and by no means is this a negative reflection on the Arrigo administration, because I know the goal. I'm for the goal of getting 70% of the people in our community vaccinated. We are at risk as a community. We are a multicultural community where vaccination is paramount. People of color have greater risk of getting COVID and dying because of the makeup of the disease or the virus. This is proven in science. This isn't Judge Rotundo speaking. But I get the idea of 70% and so forth, but to ask people to show a vaccine card and to ask people not to show up because they're not vaccinated is a constitutional slope that is extremely slippery. And I would just caution you all to think about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think a simple solution, now listen, our goal, the goal of the administration, my goal, our goal is all to get everybody vaccinated that wants to be vaccinated. I mean, it's certainly a noble goal, and I think that it's nice to try to reward people. The governor has put out a $1 million lottery now if you get vaccinated, so there's incentives that you can do that don't violate HIPAA regulations. I would ask that the word vaccinated be stricken and just go ahead with the event, not, and you can say it's implied that it's vaccinated people, but not force people to show their papers, so to speak. So I support the mayor's goal to try to get everybody vaccinated. We all want that. But the bottom line is this is absolutely unconstitutional, and I think the gentleman knows that. So that I would ask that you strike vaccinated people from the license and it go forward the way it is. So I'm not really a proponent, an opponent. I'm an opponent of forcing people to show their card, but not of the event. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we recall the
Counselor.
manager?
I do agree with
I can appreciate this. Did you have something you wanted to add?
I agree with what they're saying, but to cancel the time, I don't agree with. I agree with what they're saying, but I think the wording may have to be changed and maybe to pro-vaccination, if you're coming to support pro,
Well, I think we
which
could,
doesn't mean you've already had it.
yes, I think we could celebrate the vaccinated
Right.
people.
Right.
Right,
We could
this is-
celebrate those who are vaccinated, and people who don't want to be vaccinated can celebrate those who are.
Right,
And,
so-
that's, everybody is happy at that point. We can all go to the concert, and if you're vaccinated, we will happily applaud and give you all the accolades that the city wants to bestow upon you. But I think, as has been rightly pointed out by the councilors and Commissioner Guanasso and Commissioner Osina, there is a privacy issue here. There's health concerns as far as HIPAA and other types of privacy issues. So I would put a motion that we approve these licenses. However, we do change the wording to a celebration of vaccinated people or something that we can agree on, and we allow all of the people of Revere to go to these events, because it actually, everybody endured the pandemic. We should all celebrate its leaving, and this seems to be a good way to get the city back and going.
I think moving forward, vaccinated is great, and unless Mr. Giuffrida has different wording, we can help him out with some kind of wording.
Yes, Charles, what type of wording would you be comfortable with?
So these are all great points, Councilor Rotundo made a great point that 615 was the magic number here. That's sort of what changed in the last 72 hours, big picture wise. I'm just the boots on the ground guy. I'm the implementer. I have no objections. For all intents and purposes, this was a public health department event that Parks and Recreation, put together, because that's what we do. So if we want to move forward with striking that word and keeping the events, from the recreation standpoint, we are all for it. It's really just up to you as the body. But from an event planning mindset, no impact to us.
Yes, okay, very good. So
Maybe you could word it with how many are vaccinated in our city? What percentage, do we know?
I don't know, but we could just have it
We
as
could celebrate that percentage of vaccinated are residents of Revere. Maybe.
Commissioner Osina?
What am I considering?
I think for simplicity, we strike the word vaccinated, and we have from 4 PM, 8 PM for a concert for adults.
Yeah, and I think the event title could be, pro-vaccination celebration.
But I think,
It's open.
Or you want to call it a pro-vaccination celebration for adults?
well,
I mean,
that's what
that's-
I would think, but I think are you having,
I was going to say there will, like my wife, I have a 2-year-old, she's bringing them. So it's unavoidable, there will be some children there, which is what took place on 6/3, which is what took place at the Fall Festival, so, in all of our events. We do not, so for the 6/26 event, 6/20 event, all of the kids' entertainment is on the field. No food and drinks are allowed on the field. So there will at least be a natural barrier from where the kids
Okay.
are gathering to that area.
so why don't we just have a celebration of such a percentage, how well the city of Revere is doing? Or maybe
Yeah, depending on, I'm
Orsina.
so sorry, but that is exactly what, we can market it. I'll consult with our communications team, but yeah, we can totally rephrase it, especially for the 6/20 event. It's kicking off the Sunday concerts, which the other 6 concerts don't require any of this, so.
Okay, can we call it a pro-vaccination event for the people of Revere?
Yes,
Okay?
Absolutely.
All right.
That's good.
So, basically, we're going to have a motion here to approve a one-day malt, common victular, and entertainment license for the Revere Parks and Recreation Department. The license will be exercised at Harry Delarusso Stadium on Sunday, June 20th, from 4 PM to 8 PM. And this will be a pro-vaccination event for the people of Revere. That license is approved.
right.
Item number 6, American Legion Post number 61, 249 Broadway, front lawn. William Chisholm is the event manager. This is an application for 6 one-day malt and common victular licenses. The application for American Legion Post 61 for 6 one-day malt and common victular licenses to be exercised on the lawn at 249 Broadway on the following Sundays from 5 PM to 8 PM. That'll be July 11th, July 18th, July 25th, August 1st, August 8th, and August 15th. This license will be exercised in conjunction with the City of Revere concert nights and will be used to provide hot dogs and beer. The expected attendance is approximately 100. Name and address for the record, please, sir.
William Chisholm, 115 Utah Street, East Boston.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us a little bit about what your plan is for this?
Well, we are running this in conjunction with the concert nights. We know that over the past several years, the Revere Veterans Committee had run a grill out front and raising money for scholarships. They're not going to plan on doing this year, so we thought we might be able to use that time and our ability and access from the post to set up a beer garden outside the post on the left-hand side as you walk out the door of the post. We'd have a fenced-in area with 4 or 5 tables, a bar with just beer and wine, and another table with just hot dogs and chips.
Thank you very much, sir. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
Would you be working that stand? Who's going to be working the alcohol outside?
Yes, I will be there as the bar manager, and Jim Sinatra will be working as the bartender. So
And of
the two of
course,
us will be there.
You're tip certified?
Yes, we are. Yeah,
Yes.
they're in my application.
Yes. No, sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds
Commissioner
really good.
Osina?
I reviewed the application. I have no questions.
Very good. Sir, I see that you are going to be, as you walk into the Legion, you're going to be on the left-hand side. Is that correct?
We'll be, as you're walking into the Legion, we're going to be on the right-hand side, in front of the Civil War.
Is the beer and wine and food are going to be kind of parallel along the walkway?
Yes, right next to the ramp. Behind.
Very good. Will there be any type of enclosure or fencing around that?
Yes, we'll have fencing, we'll have that orange plastic fencing around the whole area. With one
Very good.
entrance.
I have no other questions. Thank you very much, sir. I'll close this section. Are there any proponents? Is there anyone that would like to speak on behalf?
Charles
Yes, sir.
Afrida, 150 Beach Street, on behalf of the Parks and Rec Department. I just want to add that I'm on site for all of the concerts, as well as a member of my department, and we'll be supporting this in any way, shape, or form, working hand in hand with them to sort of enhance the concert atmosphere. And we are very excited about it. It's been a long time coming, and I think it's a great next level for this event that was started. You know, I think we're our 22nd or 23rd year from Councilor Powers, Novoselsky, and I think Bob Hass, who started this. So we're very excited about this. So thank you.
Thank you. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Counselor.
You're still under proponents, right?
Yes,
Still
that's
under
right.
proponents?
Yes, a
Okay,
proponent.
just
Thank
checking.
you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Chairman. Ira Novoselsky, 53 Delhone Street, Ward 2 Counselor, and member and past commander of the American Legion Post 61. We're trying this for the first time, whereas the Revere Veterans Committee couldn't stop doing their barbecues. And we saw the beer garden happening a couple weeks ago, and guys thought it was a good idea. City's going to help out with the fencing and everything else wherever they can. And realize they've been closed for almost 2 years, and they're looking to try to get back on their feet. And realize too they're going to be doing a lot of construction at the Legion starting maybe in August, so they may not even use all six dates. We're doing a new ramp and new doorway and renovating the front of the building. And the city is taking care of that under grants. So we want to get them back into the groove and order some stock, and they haven't had stock at all, like I said, for 2 years. And the beer companies won't take back any more product if we order it now, for the bar itself. So we want to try and get our feet back on the ground with the beer garden, and hopefully that'll lead us into the end of the construction, and hopefully we can reopen the bar. So, thank you.
Thank you, Counselor.
Counsel, may I ask one question? In serving this, how are you going to serve the alcohol? You're going to use paper cups, or are you using
Cups.
cans?
It will be cups,
There will be cups?
yes.
Okay, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
The concert, people look forward to it
Right.
every
They're going to
year.
have popcorn, they'll have, steamed hot dogs and...
Right,
whatever,
and then I
so-
know all you counselors are always there giving extra refreshments, so it's been a wonderful thing for the city of Revere.
We try and do our best.
Yeah, thank you to
Thank
the
you.
counselors.
Yep.
Thank you, Counselor. Yes, sir.
I just want to introduce myself as, I'm James Sinatra. I have 49 Bay Road here in Revere. I am the current commander of the American Legion Post 61, and I will be the other person serving. And so you can see my face, you know who I am, and this is
Very
something.
good.
This is something I was trying to do 2 years ago, but it didn't come to fruition. So as you said, we're going to serving out of plastic cups. We'll have somebody manning the entrance, so that nobody takes anything out. And
Well, it seems like a great idea.
we'll also be serving soda. I don't think you put that down, but we'll give soft drinks too. So if anybody wants them.
All right.
Right.
Well, thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Anthony Zambuto, 87 High Street, Revere. I certainly support this wholeheartedly. I'm hoping that it doesn't cut into the free water that I give to the seniors. But I think it's a great idea, and it's evolved to this, and I think it's a good thing. Great.
Thank you, Counselor. Are there any other proponents? I don't see or hear anybody. I will close that section. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to this? I don't see or hear anyone. We'll close that section. Do we have something to work with here?
Well, I think it's a great idea. We have the concerts every Sunday anyway, so all they're doing is adding the alcohol, and the club members are going to be serving it. So I think it's a great idea. It's something to maybe help the club out. So I have no objections.
Okay, very good. Do you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Very good. The application for 6 one-day malt and common victualler licenses is approved. The application of American Legion Post 61 for the 6 one-day malt and common victualler licenses to be exercised on the lawn at 249 Broadway on the following Sundays from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And those dates are July 11th, July 18th, July 25th, August 1st, August 8th, August 15th. The license will be exercised in conjunction with the City Revere Concert Night Series and will be used to provide hot dogs and beer. That license is approved. We have one other item on the agenda, item number 1. This would be the Revere Lodge 1171 of the BPOE of USA, Inc., 198 Shirley Avenue. James Hannon is the manager. This is an application for a change of officers and directors. The application of Revere Lodge 1171 of the Benevolent Protective Order of Elks of USA, Inc., for a change of officers and directors to reflect the latest election of club officers. Name and address for the record, please, sir.
James Hannon, 111 Centennial Ave, Revere, Mass.
Very good.
Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. Can you just explain a little bit about what's going on here?
Every year, we have our elections, and every year we have to send the new officers into the ABC and change.
Very good. Change is good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
Now I've gone over the application and everything looks good, so I have no questions.
Same, I reviewed your application. I think you're all set. Everything's good.
Very good. Thank you very much. I'll close this section. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody who would want to speak on behalf of this?
I'm in support of this.
Thank you very much, Counselor.
Ira Novoselsky, 53 Dehone Street, Ward 2 Counselor, member of the Elks. Thank you for approving this, when you do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Counselor. Are there any other proponents? I don't see or hear anybody. I'll close that section. Any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to this? I do not see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. We'll open up the discussion. Do you have
Questions?
any discussion?
Discussion?
Very good.
No? Then I'll make a motion to approve.
I'd move to approve the...
Very good. The motion is approved for the application for a change of officers and directors. The application of Revere Lodge 1171 of the Benevolent Protective Order of Elks of USA, Inc., for a change of officers and directors to reflect the latest election of club officers is approved. Thank you very much. That concludes the applications for consideration. The next items on the agenda is a hearing. This is item number 7. It's a Four Partners, Inc., DBA Antonia's at the Beach, 492 Revere Beach Boulevard. Rodrigo Angulo is the manager. This is a hearing into multiple violations of COVID restaurant restrictions, operating without a licensed manager, unauthorized transfer and control and ownership of the license, and conducting licensed entertainment in a manner that endangers the health and safety of employees, patrons, members of the public, both inside and outside the premises. Your name and address for the record, please, sir. Can you speak into the microphone, please, sir?
Attorney Chris Siotis, 193 Winthrop Street, Winthrop, Mass.
Thank you very much, sir.
May I have your business card?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Commissioner? Very good. Well, the reason why we're here is that we've had a series of complaints which resulted in a suspension, rollback of the hours until 11 o'clock, which has gone on since the last meeting. So we're here now to see how things have gone since then and to see what the feeling is about moving forward. I will say that I did go to the restaurant on Friday and observed that, they weren't totally following what we had wanted them to do. You were supposed to be closed by 11. At 11 o'clock, there were still people sitting at tables. Again, it's more of the same as far as not complying with what you have been asked to do. And that's what got you here in the first place, and that's what keeps you coming back.
Well, I was talking, first, from Nando and Rodrigo's license, we tried to comply with the 11 o'clock. If there were anybody outside after 11, it could have been employees and everything, but the kitchen has been closing between 10 and 10:30 every night, so that we're closed, and then the employees are the only ones that stay after 11. To leave, when I say after 11, to leave, to get the place ready, that type of thing. But we've stopped this service between 10 and 10:30, and we tried to keep in compliance. So we're doing the best we can. I don't know a particular incident on Friday night, what you actually saw, but we want to do the right thing, and they've been on the beach for years, and they have been doing the right thing up until obviously recently, or you wouldn't have reduced their hours. But we've been telling people to leave, closing up at 11 o'clock.
Well, here's what I saw, Counselor. I saw at about 10 minutes to 11, the lights go on, and a bunch of people be asked to leave, which was appropriate, okay? But after 11, the place is supposed to be closed, and there's still people sitting at tables. So this is another question of almost doing the right thing. You guys almost did the right thing with COVID, but you didn't quite. And so the health department came down on you. You almost do the right thing as far as the license is concerned, but not really, because the paperwork isn't right. There's no real manager. The manager of record is not there. The corporation papers have been transferred in a manner that is not typical. So at the moment, you're operating outside the bounds of a licensed establishment?
Well, as far as ownership, we have not transferred any ownership in the.
I'm sorry?
We have not transferred any ownership in the restaurant or the corporation. It's still 4 partners. Rodrigo here is the manager, and he's there quite a lot, significant period of time. We want to do the right thing. We've been on the beach, in particular, over 10 years. So we think we've been in compliance. We're losing 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, 21 hours. It hurts the business coming off the pandemic. And to reduce hours, we understand your concerns, but we have the same ownership, the same management that's in place, and being new on board, I'm not sure, other than I do have the manager here today on the liquor license, and behind me, Fernando, who's the assistant manager here, who helps run the restaurant, and we're doing the best we can.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any comments or questions?
I just, you have to excuse me, but the word is we best we can. The rules are the rules for everybody. If you go to Revere Beach, everything's closed up. There's no such thing as, well, we're going to stay a little bit longer, or The rules are the rules. And I'm very surprised, Commissioner, I didn't know that before today's meeting, that they were sitting there after 11 o'clock. I do go in that area, as I'm sure they know, I'm there all the time. My son lives next door and he's ill, so I am there every day. And I'm there till probably 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I personally keep a close eye, and I haven't seen it, you know, for the times that I've been there. And I'm there every day. There's no day that I miss. So I have seen that it's been cleaned up, but there is no excuse for one time, even someone that has a 2 o'clock license, 2 o'clock is closed up, everyone off the premises. You can't lag behind. But again, from what I have seen in the last 30 days, and keeping a close eye, I've seen them following the rules for once, which honestly you haven't been. But I would say the last 30 days, I have not seen a violation and being there every day. So Friday night, I don't know how I missed it. I probably left a little early, but I haven't seen anything. So have we gotten any reports from anybody has the Board of Health been down there? And
None that I know of, no.
we haven't received
No.
anything for the
Nope.
30 days.
No,
So-
and we have had people there after 11. I don't doubt what you're saying, but there are employees and stuff. We got to clean up the restaurant. We're not conducting business after 11.
But you're not supposed to do that, 11 o'clock, as
Well, I
Commissioner
mean,
said.
we have to have some cleanup time inside. I mean, my dad worked as a waiter for 40 years at Jimmy's Homicide. 11 o'clock he ended, I picked him up, another half hour cleaning up the restaurant. I'm just saying, we're not, Madam was nice enough to say that we have been in compliance. We don't mean to, if there's an employee after 11, those are employees either cleaning up, taking care of the outside, but we stopped business in that respect.
Well, here's the thing, Counselor. We have got, I don't know the number, but many restaurants in this city, and they all complied for the most part. And so by complying, they took a hit. They took a hit in order to comply. Your clients did not comply. What do we tell the other people who complied and took a hit while your clients didn't comply and benefited whatever they benefited from that? How is that fair to everybody else?
The question is, we believe we have complied, and I didn't realize that you can't have physically anybody in the restaurant after 11 o'clock, because we do have employees that are there and cleaning up.
I mean, it's not just the closing, I mean, it was the whole COVID thing, all of the stuff. That's what got us to this position in the first place. And now we're in a position where we have tried to get your clients to fill out the proper documentation so that the license is back in compliance. We can't get that done either. So I don't know where we go from here.
Well, on the second part, since I just got involved, unfortunately, the attorney, Attorney Miles, represented him at the last hearing. He unfortunately passed away, the poor guy. So I just got involved maybe a week ago. So any forms as far as getting that we need, that you believe we need to find, I will have my client sit down and fill out anything that the board believes is lacking in their application at this moment.
Very good. Commissioner Orsina?
So I think at least since my involvement, I guess my first question is, how long, is this Mr. Rajudo? Okay. And you're listed as the on-site premises manager?
Well, the issue that I have, I'm going to explain a little bit. He's my partner.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have a lot of family problems. I know.
Just go to the mic.
Step, name and address for the record, please.
My name is Rodrigo Angulo, 69 Court Road, Winthrop.
Yep.
I'm the owner of Antonio's at the Beach for 15 years. And I apologize for everything you just mentioned. Juan I'm just going to explain a little bit. You probably know Juan for many years. He was my waiter. He took over 2 years ago as a partner. He is involved in the partnership with Antonius. He's right in the paperwork.
You referred to him as what?
He's a partner.
Right, you said his name was what?
Juan.
Juan. I thought it was Fernando.
Well, Juan Fernando.
Juan
Just,
Fernando. Okay.
First name Juan, second name is
Sorry,
Fernando.
that's why I was
Sorry.
confused.
Sorry for the inconvenience. So, to explain to you the situation, he's going to buy me out. But we have an issue with the COVID-19. There is no money. There is a lot of stuff. And unfortunately, my mother is dying, and I'm the caretaker for my mother. I just can leave for 1 or 2 hours a day. I cannot leave my mother to go to a restaurant. I mean, if that would take my license away, beat it, because my mother's in the last day, and I'm 24/7 with her. So he took over because of that. And I just apologize for everything, all the inconvenience, but please take over. I've been there for 15 years. And all the councils, everybody that's here know me, and it's been a major issue. It's been issues, you can see me around, but it's never a big issue. We're just trying to make a living. We made mistakes, I made mistakes, and we'll be here maybe 5, 6, and 15 years, but that's it, that's all.
Here's the issue.
Apologize.
Here's the issue, though, Mr. Angelo. It seems to me like since you've somewhat stepped away from that full-time operation or management, and you've turned it over to Juan Fernando, it seems like there's been a series of issues, and it's almost in succession of each other, at least since I've been on the commission. I remember the first time I met the both of you on the Zoom call in July of 2020, and there was an issue there, and I believe Mr. Fernando, he pointed out that he's training the staff, and he's doing all these great things on staff. But I think the primary issue with the commission now, right, is a couple of things. One, it seems to me the person running the restaurant, Juan Fernando, is not properly listed on anything on the proper paperwork as within City Hall. So that's the first issue. That if he is going to be the primary on-site manager, he needs to be officially recognized as such on the paperwork, and that's not the case. And please correct me if I'm wrong. That's the first issue. Then it brings the second issue, that it seems to me like every time this restaurant has come before this commission, that there's been an inherent issue with the operation. Because whether you're not closing on time now with the new restriction that we imposed last month, and there's still folks lingering inside, there isn't any real accountability, and I sympathize with with the personal issue you have going on, but it seems to me since you stepped away, there's no real accountability. Who do we talk to? Who can give us a firm answer, council, as to the management of this restaurant? Who's going to abide by the rules that are set forth in this city and the state under their licenses, that we can look to say, you have a concrete explanation as to why this restaurant isn't operating the right way. It's literally simple as that. You're supposed to close at 11. The chairman walks in at 11:05, and there's still people at the table. Even if it is 5 minutes, why aren't we following the rules as it's set forth?
Well, first of all, we want to follow the rules, and the fellow member did say that she's seen. Oh, thank you. I keep on. First time in front of you guys. No, but your fellow member did say that she goes there a lot, and did see that we were closing at 11. We tried to do the right thing, and we believe we have. The malingerers are usually mostly employees that are trying to clean up the restaurant, the interior cleaning, chefs, dishwashers, things along that line.
Right.
But right now, Rodrigo is the manager, and it's our responsibility to follow what the city wants us to do. We're prepared to do it. This is the first time I'm involved with him. Last week, unfortunately, for Attorney Miles. But if we need to do any paperwork, we will do it. And if we need to make any changes, we will do that. For contact purposes, Mr. Rodrigo is here, and Fernando is also his assistant, and is there basically 24/7. So we have two people here, but Fernando's there mostly, as he said, he's got a personal problem with his mother who's passing, needs daily care, basically. But we will, if there's any questions on the paperwork, as I said, I will put it together and submit what you need. If there are questions in particular. I have not seen the whole file.
But I think, well, and you're not privy to this, but I think at the last meeting, I hate to keep calling him Mr. Juan Fernando is his first name, acknowledged on record that I don't think he can be actually placed on the application for some other issues that he may have. So even if he's the assistant manager, there needs to be, the paperwork got to be right.
Well, no, we're going to put, that's what I'm saying. We will get, if Mr. Rodrigo's, yeah, we will transfer it. That's what, if Mr. Rodrigo, because of personal reasons, cannot continue to stay on, we are going to change it.
To a person that can actually go on. 'Cause
yes,
again,
of
I
course,
think he
yes.
acknowledged on record that I don't think he can actually be on the application.
No, we will.
If I'm wrong.
No, by statute, I understand.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And a person that will be there, working there.
Right. Okay. That's the questions I have.
Clear something up. If my commissioner, Solovich, said you were open after 11 o'clock, I don't care who was in there. That was a violation. Please, don't misunderstand me. I will go with whatever my commissioner says. I didn't see it, but I didn't know before this meeting that had happened. And there is no excuse, there is no other bar that you can go by in this city at 2 o'clock that has a light on. And I think these people know, you've said you've been on the beach for 15 years. We know you can go by any of the bars and they're closed. So that's a violation. And I think anyone who becomes manager, and especially the holder of the license, should know all the rules and regulations of their license. It shouldn't take 15 years to understand when you're supposed to close. Okay? And I feel very bad. I think you have a great restaurant.
Yeah.
You've got a wonderful spot on the beach. The food is good. I just don't understand why you just won't go by the rules and regulations. And I think what's going to happen here, if we don't straighten this out locally, it's going to go into the ABCC, and then there won't be a license.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see that happen. But the ABCC would never accept your application as it is today. So I'm just telling you that. That has nothing to do with this commission. We're trying to stop that from happening in this city. But should it go into Boston and they read that there's no manager and for some reason some people can't be, they're not going to approve the license and the license will be gone. So I'm just giving you that as information. I want to see you people, I go by there, you have an open seat outside.
Oh, it's packed.
It's a great business.
Oh,
I mean,
it's a draw.
That's what I'm saying, your business is, I don't know why you want to jeopardize that. You've got a great place there. For an extra 15, 20 minutes, it's just...
It's not worth it.
I just don't understand it. And I think this board has tried to help as much as we can. And I just don't know what else to say. I really don't.
Go to the mic. And address, name and address.
Hi, my name is Fernando Loaiza. And probably I can give you some explanations. When everything started, I guess I called or emailed Maggie asking when this is gonna start, and she told me right away. So that means the first day I stopped 11. That weekend I have a wedding, and they knew that my license go to 2 o'clock, and they have plans. When I say by 10 o'clock, I'm sorry, we gotta stop right here, they get mad. They got super mad and say, I'm sorry, say, we're not gonna pay. And actually that was something I explained to Rodrigo. I said, well, if you don't wanna pay, it's okay, but I don't gonna risk my license for $3,000. I know that we make an agreement, but that was 6 to 10. You guys can stay because my license I took, but right now I can't do it. And I actually, right away, I remember when that happened, I called and said, I just let you know by Saturday, 10:30, we gotta be out. So I've been doing it. I've been losing money. The week after, I had 90 people for a celebration. Same thing, we closed. And it was hard to take everybody out by that time, and we did it. I have a friend of mine that he worked for the state police. And I called him, do me a favor, Carlo, can you be around just in case I need help? I've been doing it. Friday night, I had Joe Cansano. He sings so nice. And he was like, before 10 o'clock, say, guys, just want to let you know, 10 o'clock we closing. By 10:30, 10:45, everybody has to be out. And we did it. Unfortunately, I have problem with my system, and I can prove that. My system is crashed. We're about to change everything. So we had one person that you say there, and that was actually Joe Cansano there with his people that was going out. But the bill was out. I said, you don't worry, you don't have to pay, you can go. So I've been compliment tickets because I want people inside. So I do it, and like you say, if you see me outside 11 o'clock, 11:30, it's me watering the waters. That's all I do it. So by 11 o'clock, it's everybody out. I have my people there cleaning and organizing. But if you notice that day, the chair was up. The lights outside was off. Inside, I turned all the lights up to make sure they know that was all set. So by 10:30, 10:45, the lights go all the way. So that means people say, guys, we gotta go nicely. Because people is being really rude with us. They say, why you do this? We want to be here. We're like, they get mad at me. And I had to tell many times, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And actually, I posted on Facebook, we sorry, want to apologize for what's been happening. We know we having the license until 2, but for some requests from the city, we gotta close 11. It's all I say. And I've been receiving so many complaints about it, bad complaints. I don't wanna go back over there. I don't like, it's being hard because people don't understand. Friday, 10 o'clock, that was normal music. That's it. And unfortunately, Joe is not here, but he's proven. State police was there, he can tell you. He was outside by 11 o'clock. He was helping me to make sure everybody was out. I think you saw
Sir,
Mr. Carlos.
I hate to interrupt you, I do understand that, but I think we've heard this all before. And I think what we're talking about, your paperwork is not in order. That has nothing to do with Carlos from the state police. I know him well. Your paperwork is not in order. You have no manager. You don't have, and you're going on to, well, it was 10:30, it was 11 o'clock. The rule is 11 o'clock. I really don't want to hear 10 minutes, 20 minutes later, that's done.
Yeah.
You have to have your paperwork in order. That has nothing to do with this commission, that problem that you're having.
And like you say, unfortunately, the person was in charge to do everything. That was my lawyer. He just taking over.
I know, but you
Another
had
thing-
30 days. We gave you 30 days. We're in the same exact predicament 30 days ago.
Yeah.
You haven't
But
changed one thing.
Well, another thing about that is, I don't know if you know, we don't have staff, we don't have cooks, we don't have, so my manager, he was supposed to start and everything, but he's like, you know what, nobody wants to work, and right now, I have the person, and she's ready to go. We have everything, so he's gonna take over to make sure everything's all set. I have the paperwork for that person, so basically, he will be ready, if you guys approve it, tomorrow, actually, she's been in training, she's been there with me, because she was one of my head bartenders. So she's gonna be taking care as a manager, and she's gonna be working full time with us. So basically, the person has already been chosen.
Well, it would be nice if we had those papers. We probably wouldn't be here if you filled them all out. I can't understand it. You knew this last week, right? And here you are, and it's the same story as last month. Why didn't you have it done last week? Why didn't you?
You're right, they had some time, but unfortunately, Attorney John Miles, who represented him at the last hearing, died suddenly of a heart attack about 2.5 weeks ago. And there's been no one there to replace him. I got involved this week, and I do understand the issues that you're raising as far as paperwork and all that, and we will get it in order. And right now, we do have Mr. Rodrigo on the license, and he's going to stay and put the hours as best he can into that restaurant, because he's been there for 15 years, and they want to keep it.
Thank you, sir. Counselor, do you want to add anything here? Any of you gentlemen want to speak on this matter?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Anthony Zambuto, 87 High Street. I am not here to defend the actions during COVID, okay? They were abhorrent. There's no defense of what went on in the past. I think under the circumstances, I would like to see a little leeway to let them get their act together. And if by this time your next meeting that they don't have it fully together, then I would be in support of any punitive action. But I guess the compassionate side of me is, and the pro-business side of me is asking you to give them a little more leeway just to get their act together, and I'm hoping they will.
Tell you, Counselor, and I'm compassionate too. Sometimes it's very hard to make a vote up here. But when you have inspectional services coming before this board, telling us we're not doing our job, here's the violations.
Yeah.
We're not, there's no sense in them going out.
I
They're getting
understand,
frustrated.
but I think most of that was COVID-related, correct?
No, not all of it, no,
Okay,
I'm sorry.
all right, well,
No. So I would love to help them, there's no question.
Okay.
This board, I think this board's very lenient. I think we gave them another 30 days. This has been going on for
Okay.
months, another 30 days, no paperwork.
Yeah. Well, I got several calls from some patrons and from
I did
Joey
too.
Canzano called me and told me what happened Friday night, and he felt that they're being wrongly. The bottom line is, I'm asking, that doesn't mean you're going to do it. I'm simply saying that I would ask for a little more compassion, a little more leeway, one final chance, and that's my pitch to you.
And I feel very good, but when ABC comes down on us and says, how did you give this license out? Look at the application.
Tell them
You know that.
Council
Come on,
President
Counselor.
Zambudo begged for a leeway. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor.
George Rotundo, 90 Hone Street. I guess the first thing is, currently, the manager on the license is Mr. Angulo, is that correct?
Yep.
That would be correct.
So he's not out of compliance because he has a licensed manager. Help me understand this, because I'm...
He's never there, Counselor.
Okay, but neither is Sarah Tech over at McDonald's.
We're not going to get involved in any other thing, Counselor. If you'd stay on this issue, we'd appreciate
I am, we're
that.
talking about management.
No, we're
So-
talking about Antonia's, Counselor.
No, I understand that. I'm trying to
Okay,
understand.
thank you.
Understand this. So, my brothers who own a restaurant, there are people there that manage it. He's the owner, he's the licensed manager. So, I guess the question is, if you own a restaurant and you manage a restaurant, are you supposed to be there 24/7 by law?
You need to have an on-site manager.
Right. So it has to be Mr. Angulo, correct?
He's the one listed on the application. It could be anyone that's listed on the application.
Excellent. So until they get Mr. Angulo there 24/7 or a new person, they're out of compliance. Is that correct?
No, I wouldn't agree that they're in compliance.
No, I'm saying they're out of compliance.
They're out of compliance, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So you guys have been more than lenient. You've been lenient on this issue beyond words, seriously. If you can't change the license to somebody soon, then they're gonna have no choice but to shut you down. And all I can ask you is to be a little bit more lenient so that they can find somebody that can legally take the license from Mr. Rodrigo and be there. I wouldn't want to, like I said to you before, my issue is the 25 people that work there. And I get the need to oversee what's going on. And they had a week, and it appears that they had a death of their attorney. I don't know how long it would take for them to obtain another manager that can be on site appropriately. But if you could see fit to see past their transgressions to save the jobs of these 25 people, I'd greatly appreciate it. And that's all I ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Do any of my fellow commissioners have anything else that you'd like to say?
So have we had any formal complaints over the last 30 days?
I beg your pardon?
Have we had any formal complaints brought to us?
No, none that I'm aware of. Yes.
No, there've been a couple of noise complaints, and we've had a couple of disturbance calls in the parking lot, but nothing, nothing as far as I can say, as far as the police department. We did do spot checks for the license for the closing time at 11 o'clock, and the spot checks that we were able to do, they were in compliance.
Thank you.
So Council, are you seeking today to see if we're willing to entertain lifting that 11 o'clock restriction? What exactly are you looking to do today?
I was going to ask if you could lift it and also give us time to file any appropriate paperwork for the board. If you could give us a couple of weeks to file the paperwork, and then we have to come in front of you, I believe, to get it approved. If we do a
Well, I
change
mean,
in
look,
management.
no one here wants to put you guys out of business. If we wanted to do that, we would have done that a while ago, all right? We're trying to help you here. We want the place to thrive. It's a nice place. We would like to see it thrive. The only way that can happen is if we have effective management, okay? And so I don't have a problem as far as letting this thing go another 30 days. I don't know how my other fellow commissioners feel, and giving you another 30 days to get this license and the paperwork in order. And during that time, I would also make a motion to increase your hours to 1 o'clock. We'll give you another 2 hours. See how you do with that. So if it were me, and I would make a motion that we delay this on the paperwork for 30 days and give them an opportunity to correct the paperwork by our next meeting. And in the interim, we increase their hours to 1 a.m. and give them the opportunity to make some money in the summer, keep everybody going, keep the business going. But also, you have a responsibility to close the place at 1 o'clock. And if someone comes in there at 5 after 1 and there's people sitting at the tables, it's not going to matter if they're employees, if they're guests, if they just came out wherever. You're supposed to be closed at 1 o'clock.
Door locked.
So if that doesn't happen, when we come back here again, we'll start going in the other direction.
I would second that motion. I think that there's also another concern that, with the, not a concern, sorry. I believe the restaurant had another request in front of us about the outdoor seating. Was that ever approved?
No,
In
we
the back?
didn't take that up.
Can't
We're
take
going
that
to
up.
take it up, not
Okay.
while we're in violation.
Right, okay.
Okay?
I would second that.
Are you all
Well, I
right with
would
that?
second it. I mean, the only thing I was thinking, I'm fine with it. The only thing I was thinking, if they got it together within the next couple of weeks, contingent on the paperwork, if they had the paperwork in 2 weeks, I would go back to the 2 o'clock, if they had the paperwork.
Okay,
When they
well,
get
you know
the
what,
paperwork-
that's not a bad incentive to get the paperwork in.
If they get the paperwork in, when you get the paperwork in and we approve it, we look at it, then a contingent on getting that paperwork, we can extend the hours.
To
I
2
mean,
o'clock.
that would be my
We could
substitute.
conditionally approve that now, so once we see the paperwork, they'll be ready, they could go right into the 2 o'clock slot.
Okay, so being an attorney, what do you think it would take a couple of weeks?
It should, it probably won't even take that long.
Does
I
it?
mean, especially if they have attorney Triasos? Chiosis. He said he's willing to take care of it. I think they can get it done within a couple of weeks.
So I have no problem if you get the paperwork done so that we're covered at our end. I'd go contingent with bringing your hours back up to 2 o'clock. But in the meantime, please, 1 o'clock, lights out, no one on the premises. I feel bad. It is a great business. Like I said, go by there all the time. I hope you guys get it together. Get the paperwork done and
You may want to take a look at the division of corporations as well.
That's
I
why
know that
what-
it's 4 partners, but, it seems like Mr. Andulo is probably not even listed correctly on there, and if he's going to be stepping
That's one of
away,
the
we should
reasons
update the board of directors on there.
That's why I asked for the 2 weeks,
Right.
for that particular reason.
All right, so very good. Here's what the motion will look like. We will make a motion to lift the 11 o'clock restriction and roll it to a 1 a.m. closing until such time as your paperwork is in order. And we'll have you back here in 30 days for a progress report on where we are with this. If you get it done before then you can open
we can
the
extend it
full
till 2
hours of the
o'clock.
license, which was 2 a.m. Okay, do you understand that,
Yes.
Counselor?
Yes.
Your clients understand that?
Yes.
Are we
Okay.
good with that?
So as of, the starting 1 o'clock would be today's date?
Yes, because we'll start today.
June
You
16th.
can open tonight till 1 o'clock.
Get your paperwork in and you'll be all set.
Very good. That motion is approved. That concludes the hearing. Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Thank you, thank you.
We have some communications, an advisory from the Massachusetts Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission regarding the end of COVID-related restrictions effective May 29th, 2021. The ABCC ordered lifting indefinite suspension for Burbank Inc., DBA Full Rack Smokehouse, effective May 28th, 2021. ABCC approval of an application for Rincon Lamino Revere Inc. for an alteration of premises. The ABCC approval of an application of 381 Revere Beach LLC, doing business as Bianchi's at the Sandbar for an all-alcohol restaurant license. The ABCC approval for an application of Giorgio Liquor Mart LLC, DBA Gio's Liquors for a change of location of an all-alcohol package store license and pledge of license in stock. ABCC notice of indefinite suspension of the license held by Burbank Inc., DBA Full Rack Smokehouse, effective May 20th. And ABCC approval of the application of Ocean Ale House of Revere, DBA Fine Line Tap Room for a change of license type to restaurant. We have some late renewals, a lodging house license, R House 1 LLC, 72 Dehorn Street, and RH House 2 LLC, 675 Revere, that would be 675 Beach Street, Revere. Those licenses are approved. And that will conclude today's agenda. I would make a motion to adjourn until the 21st of July.
I'll second the motion.
Very good. That motion is approved. The meeting is adjourned.
I gotta run, my granddaughter's graduating 8th grade.
Uh-oh.
Today? Oh, nice.